Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Hello everyone and welcome to your English class. In our lesson today, we will finish revising what you have taken in the previous semester. So it's going to be revision 5. All you need is your books from Mega Goal number 1, a sheet of paper and a pen to take down your notes. So let's start with the homework that you had yesterday. It was about Unit 4. And you had a homework of think of a product you bought recently, anything that you bought recently. And what made you buy it? Tell me about the good things, describe it for me. Why did you buy that product? For me, I have chosen the pen. I talked to you, we have talked about it yesterday. And I got that pen because it is safer than any other pen on the screen. It is also more attractive than the black one. The white, for me, is more attractive than the black. And also, it is the most comfortable pen. And it is as light as a feather. These are the things I liked about this pen. Okay? So these they are. What about the product? What have you chosen? Something that you have got recently. Okay. For our lesson, we will let's remember together what we have taken in Mega Goal number 1. The first unit was titled Big Changes. 2 is about careers. 3, what will be, will be. And 4 is the art of advertising. Then, did you hurt yourself? And by the end, we have taken Take My Advice. For our lesson today, we will finish the last 2 units of Mega Goal number 1. Ready? Let's get started. We're having this one who is a driving instructor. Have you tried to drive a car or you get your license? This driving instructor is going to tell us about the basics of driving. So he would say, I am your driving instructor and I am here to help you get your license. You should drive carefully so you do not hurt yourself in an accident. You must fasten your seat belt. You mustn't drive through the red light. Also, always make sure that you drive slowly, especially when you drive through towns. If you need to check the route, pull over and ask or check, and have a safe drive. He told us about the basics of driving, some advice, and some of them are instructions. So we will take them one by one, we will analyze them grammatically. At the beginning, he said, you should drive carefully and shouldn't drive fast. Also, he said, you must fasten your seat belt. You mustn't drive through the red light. What is he trying to give here? He's trying to give us advice, a list of advice. What did he use here? He used should and shouldn't, also must and mustn't. We use these if you want to give advice. What are the modal auxiliaries that we use to give advice? From something that is mild until the strongest way to give advice. We start from might, could, should, ought to, must, and had better. Had better is a very strong advice. You use it as a threat. Usually, you had better take the medicine, otherwise I am going to tell your mom something bad is going to happen to you. So, however, for might, it could be you might check the route, you might do this or do that. Okay, so these they are. How can you use the modal auxiliaries? If you are using should in the middle here, we will have should before it. He will use pronoun, he should, they should, you should. And it will be followed by the verb, the infinitive form of the verb, the present tense of the verb. So, if we go back into here, you must fasten, no S, drive, also drive, and we're having also a drive. Okay? The infinitive form of the verb, which is the present tense. These they are. Let's try to give advice for this man. At the beginning, we will describe the picture together. What do we have in here? Someone is driving the car. This one is the driver. And another in the passenger seat in here. And someone is trying to cross in here. What is he doing? The driver is using his phone. He's trying to text. And is he fastening his seat belt? We don't have a seat belt in here. Let's try to give him advice. What can you use? We can tell him, you should wear your seat belt. Have you noticed here? Wear. Also, we can use, you mustn't use, he mustn't use his cell phone. Mustn't and use. He ought to watch the road. It's very important to watch the road. He's almost hitting the man, and he had better slow down. Can you notice the verbs in here? Use, watch, and we're having also slow. These are the verb in the infinitive form of the verb. And you can use whatever modal auxiliary you think that is suitable. Okay, these they are. Back to our instructor. You should drive carefully so you do not hurt yourself in an accident. So, also, I know someone who got a ticket because he wasn't wearing his seat belt. So, we're speaking about action and its result. Here, you should drive carefully. Why? So you do not hurt yourself. And also, I know someone who got a ticket. Why? Because he wasn't wearing his seat belt. These are, we're having the order of the actions, and the action and result, you can use because or so. So, let's try to form sentences about these pictures. We're having here a lovely family using the umbrella. So we can tell it's raining, so they used the umbrella. Why they are using the umbrella? Because it's raining. Rain, umbrella. One, then we're having the second one. We can also use because. They use the umbrella. Why? Because it is raining. The second order, then we're having the first. It is raining, so they use the umbrella. At the beginning we're having the rain, then we're having the umbrella. How about this little girl? She cut her hand or cut herself. Why? We can tell she played with glass, so she cut herself. Number one, play, then cut. Let's use because. We will change the order. She cut herself. Why? Because she played with the glass. You can do it this way. Just think about the order of the action. 1, 2, so in the middle we will have because, so. Let's try to do this exercise. Fill in the blanks with so or because. He is not going to go to the gym today. Why? He is sick. So we can use because. Why he's not going to go to the gym? Because he's sick. Sick, not going. 2. My father has insomnia. He hasn't slept a lot this week. So, because of the insomnia, he is not able to sleep. 3. Abdullah has a lot of stress. His boss doesn't give him reasonable deadlines. Why is he having stress? Because his boss is not giving him reasonable deadlines. He's asking him to do it maybe in an hour or in a day. It's not enough time. 4. Ahmed should call his mother. Why? His mother knows he will be getting home late, so she would know. Call, then she would know. Okay, this it is. Think about the order of the action. 1, so, 2, because, then we will have number 1. Okay, so this is about so and because. Back to the driving instructor. You should drive carefully so you do not hurt yourself in an accident. Also, always make sure you drive slowly, especially when you drive through towns. Here we are describing the action itself. So we would say here, look at this man. What is he doing? From the picture you can tell. What is the action that is happening here? He is driving. Can you describe the driving itself? The action? How is he driving? Look at how the car is moving. He is driving carelessly and recklessly. What is carelessly? It is the action or the verb in here. We're describing the verb. And if you're going to describe the man himself, what kind of drivers is he? He is a careless driver and a reckless driver. We're describing the man, reckless, careless. However, carelessly is describing the action of driving. So, what we call this one is an adverb. Any adjective, if you want to form an adverb, you will add an ly to the adjective, so you will get an adverb. Careful, carefully. Careless, carelessly. Okay? So we can say bad and badly. Just add an ly. Heavy, heavily. Quick, quickly. And careful, carefully. He is a careful driver and drives carefully. However, we're having some irregular adverbs like good. He is a good driver. He drives well. He drives fast, a fast driver. Late and late, early and early, and hard and hard. Okay? We don't have, they are just like each other. You don't change them. Okay? Let's do this exercise. Complete the conversation. Use adverb form of the adjective in the parentheses. So, you're not going to choose adjective or adverb. No, just use the adverb. Number 1 here, the mom is asking her son, how was your first driving lesson? It didn't start good. Good is the adjective. And the adverb of good? Well. Because I fell on the way to the driving school. I hurt my arm bad. The hurt was? I hurt it badly. Then I arrived. The adverb of late is late. I arrived late, irregular. Did you miss the lesson? Yes, I missed my appointment. But I waited patient. I was a patient person. I waited patiently for my instructor, who was out on another lesson. Then I was lucky, and luckily he had time to give me a lesson after that. Always use the adverb, whether you will add ly or you will use good, well, late, and the others. Let's continue with the driving instructor. Make sure that children are on their seats, so they do not hurt themselves. Here, so they don't hurt themselves. You should drive carefully so you do not hurt yourself in an accident. What do we call these? You hurt yourself and the children will hurt themselves. We call them, these are the reflexive pronouns. Just like this man who's looking at himself in the mirror. He's looking at himself in the mirror. Reflective, it reflects. So we're having he, himself, she, herself, it, itself, they, themselves, you, yourself, and yourselves, and we, ourselves, and I, myself. One example, like he likes to look at himself in the mirror. So this is the subject, is the same just like the object. So the same thing is the object and the subject. He likes to look at whom? At he. So himself in the mirror. You can also use it if you're doing something with no help. I did the homework myself. Who helped you? No one. I answered the test myself. Okay? So these they are. Let's try to do this exercise. Complete the sentences with the correct reflexive pronoun. I finished the project all by The pronoun is I, so myself. Nobody helped me. If you want, you. If you want to make sure that nothing goes wrong, just do it yourself. The students organized the project. No one helped them. So the students organized the project themselves. The president, when the president himself said he was going to solve the problem. The airbag, what is airbag? The airbag itself was okay, but the triggering mechanism didn't work. So check the pronoun, and based on the pronoun you will find the reflexive pronoun, the suitable reflexive pronoun. Okay, for your homework I want you to think of a skill, any skill. Maybe driving is a skill. Also maybe painting or writing, all of these are skills. Then give instructions to master that skill. Just like driving, I gave you like a list of instructions and a list of advice. What are the advice? What are the instructions that you can choose for the skill? Choose whatever the skill is. Okay, so that's it. Thank you so much for your time, and see you later.